Welcome to This Day. It is Wednesday and it is May 26th. Now we'll tell you about a meeting that we have coming up today at 9:30 this morning. There's the United Architectural Control and Standards Committee meeting, and you can follow along with that at lagunawoodsvillage.com/meetings. Now on our show today, we have Dr. Valentina Bonev, and she's with RadNet. And then we have Advanced Ear Care with Stuart Spencer. So great guests and always lots of information from both of them. All right, we have some important numbers that we wanted to remind you about for our services here. For resident services, if you are needing something there, you will have to make an appointment now. You will have to call Resident Services 949-597-4600, and appointments are available from 1 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. And if you have alterations that you need to dial 949-597-4616, and those appointments are available from 8 a.m. to noon. So you will want to give those numbers a call depending on what service you will need. Okay, let's take a look at our weather. We are clearing out here in just a bit, although we are looking at cooler temperatures today. We're looking at 75, 57 tomorrow. Same thing, a little foggy in the morning, clearing to sunshine, 73, 56. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we are looking for mostly sunny skies, 74, 58, 73, 59, and then Sunday, 70, 61. Our sunrise this morning was at 5:44, and our sunset will be at 7:53. Now, I chose this adorable photo of them doing hula hoops because today is National Senior Health and Fitness Day. And did you know that approximately 100,000 seniors will do something active today? So be the 100,001 and get out there and do some activity. Have a great fitness day today. All right, when we return, we will have Dr. Valentina Bonev, so stay tuned.
Condominiums at the Towers in Laguna Woods Village offer 7 spacious floor plans, unforgettable views, convenient bus transportation, and a new experience in independent, carefree senior living. Our beautiful hotel-style environment offers nightly 4-course dinner service, bi-weekly housekeeping, and a wide variety of activities. Also, for your convenience, our 24-hour concierge, 24-hour maintenance services, and on-site management. Experience elevated living at its finest.
Welcome back. Well, today I am joined by Dr. Valentina Bonev, who is here on behalf of BreastLink. Well, Dr. Bonev, so nice to see you again. How are you?
It's wonderful to see you too, Lisa. It's always a pleasure.
Good. Well, I know the last time we talked, you were fairly new to the group. So tell me how it's been going.
It's been going really well. We've been seeing a lot more patients. I think people are kind of coming out more because of things kind of changing with the pandemic and restrictions getting lifted. So that's good. People are starting to go back to see their doctors.
Good. Well, that's a good thing for sure, for sure. Now, you are a breast surgical oncologist, but you don't just do surgery. There's a lot of other things that you do as well, and that would be evaluating people's mammograms or maybe tests or things like that. So we're kind of talking about genetic testing. Can you give me an overview of what genetic testing is?
Right. So what we're doing here at BreastLink, patients who are getting their annual mammogram, their screening mammogram, for example, we're having them fill out their personal and family history, specifically asking questions about cancer, and not just breast cancer, ovarian cancer, colon cancer, etc. And if they, based on their responses, if they're meeting national guidelines, we will let them know that they qualify for genetic testing, which is usually a blood draw or even just a swab that you put in your mouth. Very easy to do because some people don't want to do the blood draw adverse to needles. So it's very easy to do. And some of these patients, they're high risk because they have multi-generations of, let's say, breast cancer. Mm-hmm. And we want to detect these people sooner rather than later so we can come up with a game plan for them.
So is the genetic testing, is that kind of like, I remember there was a lot of celebrities that were doing this, like Angelina Jolie. Is that the kind of testing?
Right, yeah. So when she first came out, she had a mother with breast cancer who I believe had the BRCA or BRCA mutation, and Angelina Jolie got tested for that. So that is the big risk factor for developing breast cancer. So we're absolutely testing for those genes. So it's BRCA1 and 2. There are two genes, and then we're also testing for other maybe lesser known breast cancer, ovarian cancer genes, and some genes include a PALB2 that definitely do increase women's risk of developing breast cancer.
Now, would the testing only be available to those people that have markers like history and things like that? Or what if you just decided, you know what, I want to do it?
Honestly, I've encountered a lot of patients who just want to know. They want to know information. They feel like, there's some history of, let's say, cancer, but perhaps they don't meet national guidelines. And if patients want to get tested and they're educated about the risk and benefits of it and the implications of it, we're more than happy to facilitate it. Absolutely.
Okay, because I guess the reason why I'm asking is, some cancers like skin cancer may not be as, scary, but of course melanoma is, but maybe just your basic squamous or something like that. Would it show for that too?
It's more for melanoma.
Okay.
Honestly, yeah, are the inheritance patterns for that. But I will tell you, we do get patients who really don't even have a family history of pretty much anything, except they end up presenting at a young age, sometimes in their 30s, 40s, maybe even their early 50s, and they end up getting diagnosed with a very aggressive form of breast cancer. And that alerts us, there's something else going on. And then oftentimes we'll test those patients and they will come back with the mutation in, let's say, the BRCA mutation, but no one else in their family has it. So there's so much we don't know about. But then on the other hand, there's also patients where every single member in their family, every generation have, let's say, breast cancer. And no one in that family has the gene. We test the patient, they don't have a history of breast cancer, but we test them for genetics, no mutation. So there's also a lot of other genes perhaps, or other factors we don't know about. So we're still, breast cancer and other cancers, as you know, is constantly evolving the management and diagnosis.
Exactly. And I think we've talked about this before, where precision medicine does come in, and obviously genetic testing is something to start that process, and then as time goes on, if you are diagnosed with something, then they can more identify what your treatments would be. So yeah, good information. So okay, so Ambry Genetics, what is that?
Ambry Genetics is the company that we are working with. So our program is being called the CARE program, in that, like I said, patients coming in for their mammogram and identifying those who are higher risk. But sometimes, unfortunately, let's say people's insurance are not covered with it. We also work with other genetic companies as well. And sometimes patients say, you know what, my mom or sister were tested with this other company. I want to be tested, the same panel, the same test. And we can do that as well. We're very accommodating. And honestly, every company, they actually do have their own, there's different panels with different number of genes, different kind of focus of, are we going to look for maybe also pancreatic cancer type of genes? So there's actually, it's good because there's a lot of options out there for patients.
So let's talk about some of the testing that you can do through the mail. For instance, 23andMe, right? I can't remember if it's that one or another one that actually tells you are predisposed to certain types of disease. So do you ever talk to people about those kinds of tests?
It's come up in conversation. To be honest, I don't know much about those tests, but I would be cautious about those tests and the accuracy of those tests. And just because they show everything's all good, it doesn't really mean that. I think seeing a professional, a physician who is trained in this and can educate why we should get a test or why shouldn't we, and what are your risk factors, what should we look for, and even let's say they get testing and it is negative, they can still be high risk. And there are measures that we can do to help lower their risk of developing cancer in the future.
I would imagine that your genetic testing is much more intense than what you might pay for online.
Right. And a lot of those testing you get online are also kind of telling you maybe your family is from, a different part of the world. And it's some of the stuff is questionable, the results.
Well, I would imagine it is, but fun nonetheless. But I did want to specifically ask you about some of them that do talk about potential health issues. So I wanted to clarify that. So perfect. So let's say someone does the genetic testing, they find out something is going on. What is the next step?
So let's say someone has a pathogenic mutation in the breast cancer gene, for example, the BRCA gene. So then there's a couple of things that we need to talk about. First, their risk of developing breast and ovarian cancer is going to be much higher than the general population. And depending on the mutation that they have, which gene, the 1 or 2, it could be over 60%, even upwards around 80% of getting breast cancer, extremely high. So we talk about potentially prophylactic mastectomy with or without reconstruction with a plastic surgeon. We talk about chemo prevention, which is oral medication that they would help lower their risk, and that's managed by the medical oncologist. And then we also offer increased surveillance screening. So the standard of care is to get annual mammograms, but if you have this mutation, therefore you're high risk, we're also going to recommend oftentimes an annual MRI. So you're getting a mammogram or an MRI every 6 months. You're going to be seeing the physician every 6 months, having a breast exam. And the goal is to detect something early rather than later so that it is treatable for the patient.
So I think we've talked about this before, and also other doctors talk about, a preventative. So that obviously is a huge preventative measure to be able to make sure that you catch something early. But 9 times out of 10, when you catch something early, isn't it fairly a high percentage that you can cure it and have it go away?
Absolutely. However, if that patient happens to have the BRCA mutation, they oftentimes are diagnosed younger in life, and they have a more aggressive form of cancer. And what seemingly is, let's say, a small cancer easily treatable with surgery, we end up finding out it has spread to other parts of the body. So it's therefore very aggressive.
Wow. Well, I'm so glad that you guys do the genetic testing and offer that, because it must be somewhat peace of mind for some people, and that way they can identify what they have to look forward to or not look forward to.
Absolutely. It's all about what I say to patients, education and knowing what your options are.
Exactly. Well, Dr. Boneff, thank you so much. I appreciate the time.
Thank you so much, Lisa. It's always great talking to you.
All right. And we'll be right back after this.
People with hearing loss only know the way they hear, not how much better they should be hearing. How well are you hearing? Are you understanding 60% or maybe only 30%? You don't know unless someone measures your hearing understanding ability. People are wearing hearing aids that are underfit with power, not programmed properly, the physical fit is too loose or too tight. Find out what your understanding score is with a special word test from Advanced Ear Care. Stop in today and tell them Stuart sent you.
Welcome back. Well, today I am joined by a stranger. We haven't seen him in a while, Stuart Spencer. And Stuart, we're so happy that you're here on behalf of Advanced Ear Care. How are you?
Wow, I'm doing wonderful, Lisa. Thank you for having me back. It's been a long time. It's been an interesting situation.
Well, of course, it has been with many of our businesses here locally, as well as around the world. So we're all in this together, as we have said before. But not only because of COVID have you been sort of MIA, it's because you've been so busy, and I'm excited to hear about all the activities that you've been up to.
Boy, I tell you, we really have been busy. We never shut down, during this whole COVID process. We've always been open. People need to hear.
Yeah.
We ran into a lot of situations where, obviously with the masks, people were having a hard time understanding speech clearly. And that took such a deeper dive because people were so isolated. They were having a hard time hearing their caregivers, their administrators, their families, even, on the telephones and through the windows, right? Waving to people outside. It was really, really a struggle for a lot of our patients. So, we stepped it up, found different technologies to help them in all those different situations and really provided a lot of better hearing for a lot of people. So we have been real busy.
So let's just touch on that, if you may. So you call verified best hearing procedures. So give me an example of some of the things that you've used to help people be able to hear better. Because I'll tell you, I can't hear anything from those masks, so I can't even imagine having an impaired hearing and be able to hear anything according, trying to read those masks. You just can't.
Yeah. So, we have a study, that, we were provided with that was really effective in helping us to realize exactly what aspects of speech people miss because of masks. And there's the different masks, right? There's masks like a regular cloth mask. There's a mask like the paper mask. There's a shield with the mask. There's a mask, and then the provider or the whoever they're dealing with has a big shield in front of them. On top of that, so there's a lot of different aspects to that you really have to look at what the situation is. But forever, Lisa, people have always come into our office and said, Stuart, I know people are talking to me. I just can't understand the words clearly, right? Mm-hmm. Now that's just on steroids, because what happens is with those masks is people lose those soft, subtle speech sounds in the high frequencies where typically they hear worse anyway. Mm-hmm. So you try to differentiate between like a TH, an F, and an S. It's like they're very soft sounds, right? You put a mask over that, they go way down in the high frequencies. So what we're able to do is wear a mask, give people speech testing and see what they're missing, then overemphasize those frequencies with the different gain, increased gain in those areas, and then give them another speech test and see what their improvement is. Mm-hmm. So quantifying these improvements, so people are like, oh my gosh, this is so much better. And so, we really just lived into the problem and found solutions. So, that was just through, some of the newer technologies we have. And then, others we used accessories, right? Devices that connected to their television sets, so they could stream the sound right from the TV right to their ears. Crank the volume up and bother the neighbors or the people they're living with that have better hearing than they do, perhaps. We're able to have remote microphones so people can talk into those and bypass, all of the masks and have a direct audio input right into their ears.
Oh, that's a great idea.
And these accessories have gotten better. Before I was like, they were a little bit better. Now they're a lot better. So, and then just the fundamental basics, of this new artificial intelligence. Mm-hmm. It's in the hearing aids themselves. That's faster, smarter, sharper at reducing background noise. Mm-hmm. And making that speech clearer. I mean, people are like, oh my gosh, Stuart, this sounds so much better. You can just see the relief on them. It's just so important. And it's been huge. And that's given us a lot of business and a lot of effective results because of that business. And so we're really happy. That's what we're here for, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's awesome. I really love that idea where you have a little microphone and they can just kind of speak directly into that, because honestly, when I've gone to the bank and all these things, all these people are, wearing these excessive masks, then you have the plexiglass and that's super thick. And that I'm constantly going, what? So, I mean, that is awesome that you were able to do that. I should carry around my microphone and a speaker.
Yeah, that's right.
That would work awesome. So that's a great idea. And I'm glad you're able to help people with that. Now, you mentioned in your notes here, the first time in your history, you've been able to service many of the veterans. Now, what does that mean?
Oh my gosh, this is huge, Lisa. This is just huge. We've worked for 35 years with the veterans to try to be able to see their patients and get reimbursed for it.
Yeah.
To- We've always done a ton of free service here for our vets, so they didn't have to drive all the way up to Long Beach just to change a wax guard and a hearing aid.
Yeah.
Sit in like I'll just say very busy situation up there, and just I'll say not get the full attention that they deserve at times. And I love the VA. I love them, for what they do and serving our vets and everything else. But they're just overwhelmed. There's just a lot of people up there, right? So, now, we're one of the chosen few offices across the nation where we can accept veterans into our business and fit them with new hearing aids and service their existing hearing aids. And um, we're able to be reimbursed for that. And
Good.
it means a lot to people that are here in our local markets, especially right here in Laguna Woods. And being the government, there's a few hoops you have to jump through with
Imagine.
and getting referred here and setting up the right channels. But you know what, we're doing it right now, and we're doing it every week. We're getting more and more people referred here and getting them into the fold of coming here for service. And it is so exciting to be able to say that we're able to service our veterans, and we're one of the only places that, well, the only place I know here that we're able to do that. So I'm really excited about that.
That's quite a coup, I think, because like you said, it is very difficult to jump through the hoops that the government puts you through. But the fact that you did all of that, I am sure that our veteran residents and local folks really do appreciate that. So
And
that's
they
good.
can
It's
come
so
in
good for you.
so they can come in and we can have them fill out a form, and we just send that in and get them processed and referred here. And so if anybody's interested in that, they can just call our regular phone number.
That's awesome. That is great. Now, moving into a different subject, and it's kind of along the same lines as what you just said, is that you're now able to service the veterans in this office, but you now have other offices. So let's hear where the other offices are.
Wow. So here's the thing. So we had a really great opportunity here. I've known, Jim Lane, and Beth Lane in professional hearing and speech for years. Well, hate to say it, over 35 years. They were always very friendly competitors, and they just had an opportunity to retire and spend time with their families, travel a little bit, and do some other things they wanted to do. Their lease was up. We didn't need any of their equipment, because we have everything right here in our office. Professional hearing and speech was their business, which was just located about 1.5 miles away. And so we purchased, their patient files, and we've brought them in and integrated them into our office here at Advanced Ear Care. So now all those patients can come here for service. We have their warranties, we have their files, we have their history of their hearing losses, their hearing instruments, all the details of everything that they've ever done. They're professional hearing and speech, and it's been a great acquisition for us, and people are really enjoying being here. Well, I'm excited. We have the same level of quality care that Jim and Beth have always provided for them, and it's just been a really smooth, seamless transition for us. So that's really exciting.
Well, and I'm sure Jim and Beth are very pleased that they know that their patients are in good hands.
Yeah, and Jim, pops in here every now and then just to say hi, so it's good to see him.
Good, that's great. Now, but that's not all. You've
Nope.
got something else.
That's right. So we've been asked to handle another office down in Encinitas. So it's advanced hearing care instead of advanced ear care. But that's been a great satellite office for us. We're down there on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. What's so fun is we've seen a lot of our patients that have moved down there now come into that office since they've been getting it through our newsletter. And it's just been a great, another acquisition, just another branching out for us. And it just allows us to see more patients and to provide them with better hearing, just like we have here for the last 40 years. So, so things are expanding. We're really doing well. We're very busy and just happy to help everybody that needs, any kind of improvement with their hearing abilities.
Well, that's very exciting news. And, it's always good when you can expand and go to other places. Although I'm sure that many of the patients here are probably going, well, I sure hope he can still see patients here.
Oh, we have an incredible team here. We have the capacity to handle everybody. So our team's expanded here, and we won't miss anybody. I can guarantee you that.
Excellent. It was so nice to catch up with you. Don't be a stranger. Let's talk about some more hearing difficulties that you can help people with in the future.
Oh, that'd be great, Lisa. Thanks so much for having me on today. It's good to see you.
You too. All right, we'll be right back after this. Our movies for the weekend are going to be fun. On Friday, we have The Jungle Book, which is the one from 1994, and you will be able to watch the Disney movie at 2 p.m. with subtitles and 6 p.m. without subtitles, and that'll be on Friday. And then on Saturday, we have a nice movie called Me Before You, and this will be able to be seen on Saturday at 2 p.m. with subtitles and 6 p.m. without subtitles. All right, let's go ahead and just give you a couple of information here. We've got the theater, actually not the Theater Guild, we're gonna go ahead and talk to you about the yoga that we have now, and you'll be able to participate with yoga at Clubhouse 2. Jerry Block has returned, and he's already here, and so you can check that out from 12 to 1 p.m. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our weather one last time. Of course, it is looking quite nice for the week. We are going to be in the 70s for most of the week, today being the warmest during the week. 75, 57, tomorrow 73, 56, 74, 58 on Friday, and Saturday and Sunday are looking quite nice in the 70s with the overnights 59 and 61. Have a great day in the village. We will be back here again tomorrow at 9 a.m. Of course, you can always rewatch our program at 12:30 and 5 each day, Monday through Saturday, or you can go to our YouTube channel, Village Television. Have a great day. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Introducing Raya's Paradise San Clemente. Boasting a total of 50 luxurious apartments, Raya's Paradise is complete with a multitude of amenities, including a rooftop lounge, restaurant, fitness studio, outdoor courtyards, and beauty salon. Embrace the San Clemente lifestyle with stunning ocean views and the look and feel of a high-end resort. Our doors will be opening soon. Visit us online or call for more information. Raya's Paradise, a tradition of quality care.
As Orange County's highest-ranked hospital, Hoag is the place to turn to for timely information, reassurance, and care in these uncertain times. Our dedicated physicians, nurses, and staff stand ready to safely deliver world-class care, just as we have for nearly 70 years. This is what we do. We are here for you, and we will overcome this together. To access Hoag for all of your healthcare needs, visit hoag.org/trust.
Tip, toss, take action. Don't give mosquitoes a fighting chance. Don't give mosquitoes a fighting chance.